Happy Halloween, Sal and Dave, the dead ghouls and goblins. Tomorrow is the fabled holiday. That us monsters come out and play. You know, it's like the people that dress up as people, you know? Alright, so this is Cass, and I'm bringing you the final story. Actually, it's not really the final story, but final story of this month. Alright, so, actually I'm going to do it in my normal voice. Okay. So I've been promising this story for the whole month. It's kind of, I would say it is my biggest scare that I've had in my life. Well, paranormal that is. Because kind of getting jumped, I kind of feared for my life there, twice. So, without further ado, the story that I tell, the one that I wrote a piece for in my college writing class. Here is warning. Alright, so it started out as a simple afternoon. My two friends that I usually hung out with when I was a teenager were over, and we were bored and restless. I mentioned that there's a nature trail, like not behind my house, but like across the street behind other houses. So we decided to go take a look. We decided to bring a boombox with us for some reason. But, you know, we didn't even listen to music with it. We just brought it along for, how do I say? It was like, I don't know. It was like supposed to be some kind of disguise, I guess. So, we go into the, I was thinking about like what I just said. It sounds weird, and I don't even know why we brought it in the first place. So, we went to the trail. And it starts off as your usual like nature hike. You know, you're surrounded by trees. There's a man-made path that people made for the trail, you know. So we were going down the trail, and there's this abandoned car sitting on the trail. And it's been there for a while. It looked like it was vandalized. Tires were missing. The engine was missing. The stereo was missing. A seat. One singular seat was missing. And there was just nothing of further interest with the car. So, we continue on. And we get to what you would call the end of the man-made trail. And the woods beyond that was a little bit more unkept than the woods we walked through. So, it was kind of foreboding. And in case you're wondering why I call this story warning, it's because that was the first warning. So we decided, there's like a little tiny path that we decided to walk down, because it was technically man-made, but by people walking, not really purposefully making a path, you know. We go down there, and a little ways in, we found this kind of like a makeshift shed. It's not even a shed. You couldn't even consider it like a house. It was like a roof, pretty much. Makeshift. And then there was a pile of junk sitting by what looked like a campfire. Like it wasn't lit, but we could tell there was ashes and whatnot. We took a look at the stuff, and it kind of looked like it could be stuff that's been taken out of houses around the neighborhood. And then this woman walks up and she's like, "May I help you?" Now, she was definitely unkempt. Looked like she has not showered for a week, if she was outside the entire time. Her hair was matted, and her clothes looked like she got stranded on, like, Lost or something. So all of us were like, that's a homeless chick. And she was kind of intimidating a little. Like, she wanted off her property. Thankfully, one of my friends was like, "Hey guys, I found another trail over here," and then we used that as an excuse to go. Thankfully, she didn't follow us. But that was warning 2. And further down said trail, we came across warning 3. The no trespassing sign. Now, we had a feeling this was going to happen. I can't remember how, but we knew about these trailers, like mobile homes that was back there. And they're like, I'll get to that in a minute. But I personally did not know that there was a no trespassing sign up. But we decided to go beyond there to begin with. Now, yes, I am admitting to trespassing, but I'm also admitting that it was a stupid idea. So I'm not condoning trespassing, alright? There's a reason why coming up. So just, teenagers that think this story is pretty cool, don't, trespass. Trust me, especially lately. People, there's higher security, higher, better, surveillance. It's just, it's against the law to trespass. People can call you into the cops. And if you're like, "Oh, no, I'm not afraid of the cops," look at the news. Anyway. So, we go into these trailers, and they're like, of course they're bent, so they're like falling apart, but they're set up in a row, and each trailer is a different state of decomposition. Like the first one wasn't even there, it was just the floor. And then the second one, the floor's a little bit better. Then the third one, the little wall is there. And it's like if you took a picture of each one, stacked up the pictures and flipped them like a flip book, you could pretty much watch the trailers being rebuilt. Or if you flipped it the other way, being taken down. So, we decided to go into some to explore. There was some trailers that were very unstable, which is one of the reasons why you don't trespass in places like this. Especially for those ones that are condemned. Because the no trespass sign, majority of the time, is up for your safety. Anyway, enough trying to be a good Samaritan. There was one that someone set up an obvious sexy room. There's wrapped condoms, unwrapped condoms, used condoms, a lot of adult magazines. It was obvious someone was using that room, so we didn't stay there long in case, they showed up. They might have had a gun. All those that are like, "Oh, threesome." No, probably had a gun. So, there was another room where there was like trash piled up to the ceiling. Literally to the ceiling. It looked like the trash was holding the roof up. And one of major note, it was close to the end of the line. And it looked just like someone was able to live there. I mean, there was like furniture nicely placed against the wall. There's a dresser sitting there. It had just like basic stuff in it. There was like drawers of silverware. And it looked clean. There was nothing wrong with it. No cracks in the wall. It looked perfect. So we decided to explore that a little bit because we were mostly safe in that one, as far as we knew. So we walked into the kitchen, and there was like a cabinet, or not cabinet, but a countertop set up, so that there's enough room between the end of the countertops and the wall for us to go by one into the kitchen area. Now this next